It was a shinner, wasn't it?
Was it what? Sorry?
Shinner.
I like it when they go in the net. I'm not really bothered how they go in. I just like it when they go in and they don't get one in our net.
But I mean, obviously, scored for you again. I've just seen your post-match interview, and like you say, did well to get himself in that position in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, strange game. A good goal, regardless of how it went in the first one, and that kind of saw us through the first half and set us up for the second. I've only experienced the 9 men once. I was reminded afterwards because I couldn't remember when I had, but it was against Chelsea. But it was a different kind of game. They flooded forward and tried to go through. It was different today. 2 banks of 4. I haven't witnessed that before. A keeper and 2 banks of 4 without a centre forward or without a recognised centre forward up there. So strange in that respect. And then we've had to work to try and break that down. We didn't really too many times because of such a packed defence. But we asked enough questions where they made a mistake, and then the game's done really at 2-0, and we come away with a nice victory and another clean sheet.
Yeah, you talked about the clean sheet and the Golden Glove on its way. You would have thought for Nick.
Well, he's got to have a chance. I mean, at the end there, he's screaming at the 2 centre halves to come back from a corner rather than go forward from a corner. So he's obviously aware of his clean sheet record. No, he deserves it. He's been terrific for us all season, but he has got a strong group working in front of him. So I know he respects that, and he respects all of the players for what they're giving on the defensive side of the game. And then we keep, managing to find moments which are important and managing to win games. So, it's a big ask going into the last game, see if we've equalled our best ever total, see if we can compete and take over that best ever total. But I couldn't be more pleased for the players. They've put a lot in, generally, and after lockdown, and they're getting rewards.
And the referee, we don't often see, do we, the referee go and check the pitch side monitor, but he did today. You a fan of that?
I personally think I'd prefer the monitors not to be used, and the only reason for that is on any given moment there's still an enormous, well, not now obviously, by the way, forgetting about COVID, if there's a crowd, a massive crowd, if you're at Old Trafford or whatever, there's still a lot of demand on the referee. He's blowing, he's searching for oxygen, he's trying to be calm, he's looking at the screen, there's a lot of noise. I think my personal view of VAR is the people in the studios, it's for them to decide. I appreciate there's been some strange ones, so therefore the debate continues about the referee using the monitor more. His use of it today has made a change to, or a possible change to the decision, and he's decided it's a red card. It's simple, and that's his choice.
Finally, from me, top 10 at the moment, potentially finishing above the likes of Arsenal, Everton, maybe even Sheffield United. With everything that's been said about them this season, you continue to go under the radar, don't you?
Yeah, but we're not too fussed. We like to get on with our work. We like to do all the basics, principles of being a good side. We work. We're well organised. There's a strength to us. There's certainly a mental strength to us and resilience. That's for sure. We get on with things. We respect. We have a lot of respect in our group. That's for sure. And if people respect us outside, that's great. If they don't, they don't. That's the way it goes. But we're happy to just keep playing hard to try and win games, get points on the board, and keep developing the players. And they're doing a great job of developing partly themselves at the moment, the way they're going about it.
Thanks. Well done today.
Thank you. Cheers.
Chris Borden. Evening, Sean. You okay?
Hi, mate.
I mean, two top 10 finishes now in 3 seasons for sure. I mean, it looks terrific, doesn't it, on your CV and the club's CV?
Yeah, I mean, look, every season's a restart. I always say that because we can't define that we're a definite kind of Premier League football club, but we do challenge every year. We are committed to the cause every year. We want to be competitive all the time, which we have been virtually all season. We had a tough spell, obviously well documented, and possible, change of my future. Some were muting. So that's the way it goes. That comes with the territory. But we believe in what we do here, both myself, my staff, and the players. And we continue to do that. And people sometimes question us, they sometimes praise us, and we see beyond all that. And we just get on with the group, and we get on with the next challenge that comes our way.
But for a club this size and a town this size to be sort of in the top 10 clubs in England twice in 3 years is, I say, it's probably.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to go over egging it, but when you think of budgets, you think of finance in the club and against the market. I mean, I just saw Leeds, fantastic by the way for Leeds to go up. I think they've done a brilliant job there. but equally their accounts suggested that they had a £60 million wage bill with bonuses. So it's fair to say that's pretty high in the Championship. So, that we're kind of still not there financially, but we're very secure as a club. So finding that balance along with the team's balance to go and get wins and go and do well in the Premier League, it's difficult, but we found a way. And once again, the players deserve massive, massive credit, in my opinion, because, like I say, we just stay resilient when we stay certainly dedicated to what the cause is. And the cause is every season to be in the Premier League and to do the best we can. And we keep doing that.
What with you? I mean, presumably the incidents, the 2 red card incidents, were right in front of you. What you think there were no real argument with either?
Well, I must say, I didn't see the first one as clearly, so I quickly saw it on the screen at half time. I think the thing is, right, that I've spoken about this a lot, but the game's so weak physically now, you can't touch anyone, so they go down. Now, if that's the case, well, then if you do raise your elbow to someone's head or face, you've got a chance of getting sent off. And I think he did raise his arm, and it was an intentional arm movement. It wasn't like an awkward one or a flippant one, or he's moving or running away. And so therefore you're under pressure. You put the referee in a predicament to send you off. So whether it is or it isn't, what I would say is he doesn't need to do it. And then the second one is unacceptable. Simple as that.
Super. Cheers, Sean.
Cheers, mate.
Paul McInnes, please.
Hello, Sean. You mentioned earlier about your team's mental strength. How important do you think the psychological battle was on the pitch today? And do you think not having crowds in the ground make that a more important component of the match?
Well, it was an odd game today. Obviously, they've got a lot on their plate after what's happened. They haven't managed to stay in the Premier League, so that's tough on them. And I've been through that. It's not easy. There was a kind of oddness to the game anyway. I thought it was a weird kind of flatness, and I don't know. The game never really found its feet, I didn't think. And then the sendings off changed everything. And we got on with it. And, yet again, we forged a way to win, really. There wasn't amazing moments that we produced. There was some good moments. They could have been better. But we forged another win. And we have to find ways of winning. I've said it many, many times. So we found a way of winning today on the back of a very strong run, and takes us into an equal record point situation and going into one more game. So we'll see how that takes us.
And just more broadly, has the lockdown changed your ability to sort of influence the match, to speak to your players, direct them, or do they know what they're doing?
You can get information on better, that's for sure, because obviously there's not a crowd there and the furore and the noise of a crowd. So you can certainly get information on easier. I think, look, the lockdown has been tough on everyone, forgetting about football and everyone's lives. I think it's still great that we managed to get football back out there, despite no crowds, which is the hard side of it. But we have got football, and I think generally the footballs were very good, and the tempo and the feel of it. And it seems to me, friends of mine who are not in football, they've really enjoyed it. And I've watched probably more football than I've done for years, just because every game that comes on, I tend to watch now. So, I think everyone's played their part in delivering it. We're nearly to the end of it, obviously. I think everyone's tried their hardest to make it as good as possible.
Yeah, I recognise that, watching more football than ever. Thanks very much, Sean.
Thank you.
John Hazelwood. You're muted, John.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Would missing out on Europe be a blessing after what happened last time?
It's a double-edged sword, the Europe thing. The grandeur of the fact that Burnley Football Club in Europe, and I think last time it was 50-odd years since that had happened. The challenges, we're not always blessed with huge finance to go and buy lots of players, so therefore we had a real challenge the last time round with the number of players used and injuries and the likes, and the challenges that come from it. On the other hand, like I say, it's a double-edged sword, because for Burnley Football Club to be in Europe is an amazing thing, I think. We're not there now. We don't know whether we will be. We're not too interested in the sense that we want to take on the last game and play as hard as we can to get points on the board. We'll see where it takes us. But it is a big challenge. And I think Wolves have done terrific this season, coming through it quicker than we did, because they had a really tough start, if you remember. And then they sort of found their feet again. And most teams, if you look down the years, have had a tough time when they're in the early part of the season, and then kind of found their feet as the season went on. And ours took till the halfway stage till we really got a grip of our season. So like I say, the challenges are right in front of you. They're very obvious. But there is the kudos of being into some kind of European competition, which for a club like Burnley, when I got here 8 years ago, was never going to even be considered. So I think that's the balance.
Thanks, Sean.
Cheers.
Alex James.
Sean, just quickly on the red card on the first one, I think we were speaking last week about sort of players getting a touch and then going down, and that's always been there. Is that the case with Westy today? That obviously there's no debate that he got caught there, but did he go down too easily as well, do you think? Or
I don't think it's relevant. It's more relevant that he raised his elbow and put it in someone's head, and that's just, it puts the referee in a predicament. Simple as that.
And just quickly on the youngsters, I know another new one on the bench today in Joel. How much of a balance is there for you between using these sort of games as an opportunity to give them minutes, which I realise you didn't today, and sort of not giving out Premier League appearances like Christmas presents, as Jurgen Klopp said?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, at a club that wants every penny to be taken care of, as you well know, every position we finish higher in the Premier League makes it very difficult to blood youngsters, because on the one hand, you want to blood youngsters and have a look at them and see if they can get a feel of it. On the other hand, trust me, the chairman's saying, get every position you can because we get the money in the bank. So that's the tricky side of it. Today, if the game would have went differently as a scoreline earlier, if Chris Wood would have took his chance straight after half time, and it probably opens the game up more, and then, probably against 9 men, you score more goals, maybe that's different. But if you look at our games since lockdown, they've been very tight, very edgy. They're not games for young players who, if I think they're ready, that's different. Like with Dwight, when I put Dwight in. But some of these young lads haven't even been out on loan yet. They haven't even had any first team football. So there is a balance, and it's often a financial one.
Thank you.